Hey everyone, what's going on? And welcome to another episode of Get Super with me, Joshy G. Thank you so much for joining me. And today I have a very special guest, the talented, the amazing, the wonderful WWE superstar and SmackDown's women's champion, the one and only Bayley, will be joining us today. As you can see, she's here. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bayley. How are you?
I'm doing good. I didn't know I was on already. I just thought it was just you, so I'm sitting here awkwardly. So, hi.
I'm sitting awkwardly in my family's purple living room as well. So you are not alone when it comes to that. We also have Paul on with us as well. He will be moderating. So if you guys have any questions or comments about the workout, which we'll be doing later with the lovely Jen, but if you have any questions for Bayley, please ask Paul and he will relay them to us. And again, for those watching, we'll be giving away a really cool 6 scale by Hot Toys. That's right. Gellert Grindelwald from Harry Potter fame. We'll be giving that away. And like always, Paul will drop a link into our Gleam contest a little bit later. Now, I have a secret code, which will give you 1,000 entries into our Gleam contest. And of course, I will not tell you that secret code until midway through the workout, which Pam will be, or Bayley will be missing, which will be, unfortunate for her, but maybe she'll go back and do it later because I know she's a big fitness fanatic as well. So you'll have to stick around for that. First of all, Bayley, congratulations on your big win this weekend.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
After taking down Tamina.
Yeah, that was a big fight for me. I've never had a match with Tamina. It was like the first time we did a one-on-one match, and it was. I don't know if ever sweat more in a wrestling match or used as much energy or anything. And I mean, I won because the first championship I won was like because of you. So
I,
I would cede it all the way back to that.
I wouldn't. I don't like to advertise that, but yes, that is true. She's
Yeah.
not lying. I met Bayley a while ago, and we started training, and then within hours, not days, not months, but within hours,
Nope.
she became champion. So that just goes to show you, Paul, how I have the Midas touch, so to speak, when it comes to helping guys achieve their championship.
It's true. It's true. I always remember that.
It has nothing to do with the fact that Bayley has been fighting and clawing her way up the wrestling ranks in the Indies and NXT and the champ. It had nothing to do with that. It was all just meeting.
It was just that first workout of learning some cleans. And
Yeah,
I was, everything just clicked for me. I was like, yeah, I've been missing this the whole time.
yeah, that is not true. I appreciate the compliment. Now, we all know that you are a big fan. You grew up being a big fan of professional wrestling. What were some of the things that drew you in as a fan that you loved so much? Because again, Sideshow is all about fandoms, whether it be comic book characters or we do have some pro wrestling statues. What are some of what gravitated you towards being such a huge fan of pro wrestling?
Oh, I think we like connected on this like right away, but Macho Man was the first guy that I saw. My dad and my brother would watch it all the time, and it never really like I never really paid much attention, but I saw Macho Man one day coming down the ramp, and I was like, "What is that? What is that?" And it was just his tassels, his colors, his charisma, everything. Like he looked so much different than all the other guys that I had seen on the TV in the past, and just something about him. It's like you guys do comic book stuff and superhero movies and all, like I'm not into that stuff, but for me that's like a real life superhero. And for like nowadays I see WWE superstars as real life superheroes because see us on TV. And just as a kid I was so in awe of these guys that were doing these unbelievable things, and to think like they can't be human, like there's no way they're doing all this stuff and they get to wear cool costumes and all that. So Macho Man was really the first one to really get me just hooked on it.
Now, Macho Man does have a superhero connection in a ways. I mean, he was in the first Spider-Man movie as Bonesaw, and
Yeah,
popped up on screen. I
that's
cheered huge.
true.
Now, was there anything besides wrestling growing up that you liked? Maybe it wasn't superheroes, but was there like a certain TV show, or was there something that you were obsessed with other than wrestling?
Basketball. I was just because I was just a huge tomboy, so I played sports as a kid. Me and my brother would just play outside all day, and basketball was something that I was like, I just really enjoyed, and I was kind of good at it. and I played in middle school and high school. In high school, I made the varsity team my sophomore year. So like, of course, that boosts my confidence, and I wanted to get even better. And ended up being like the captain my senior year. So that was something that I always say, like, if I wasn't wrestling, or if wrestling wasn't on my mind 24/7, I would have went forward with that. I don't know how far I would have gotten, but I think it was just something that was so fun to me because I was always active, so I loved it.
Are you watching the Michael Jordan documentary that everyone else is
Yeah, I
watching?
am. I actually I missed the last one because I was beating Tamina at Money in the Bank to retain my SmackDown Women's Championship. So I missed that one, but I have been watching it. I love it.
Yeah,
It's made me like fall in love with it all over again, and it's crazy to see how I mean, probably every sport, but it's just like WWE. Like, I don't know. There's so many characters everywhere you look in every field of work that you look in.
hmm. Now, what was your favorite team growing up?
The Lakers, because I was a Kobe fan. I still am a Kobe fan. So
Yeah.
my brother would always give me crap because he's like, you don't even live over there. You're supposed to like the Warriors, and they were terrible at the time. So I hated the Kings because they always beat the Lakers, but they were my team. Still are.
That's right, because you're a NorCal girl, right? And so there's the
Yeah.
Warriors, and then what Sacramento's kind of in between LA and San Jose, right? So you kind of
Yeah.
have a team between those three. And I'm assuming you did not like the Clippers at the time because they were also terrible.
No. Yeah. So I picked like the furthest team from me in the state, but
Yeah.
Kobe was just he's the guy.
And when you finally made it into the WWE, were some of these celebrities that you looked up to, or basketball players, when you got to meet them backstage or whatever, was it kind of cool to see that they were also fans of yours, or were you still kind of fangirling out when you got to meet them?
I never even got to meet any basketball players.
Oh,
I
really?
feel like every time there was someone backstage, I missed it. Even when you're there, you know how like I'm like, "Oh yeah, where are you? Let's hang out." And then I never see it's like so many things are happening and I don't know how to time manage my days. So I think I have all this time and next thing you know, I'm up in like 2 minutes and I don't even have makeup done or whatever. So I never get to meet these people.
Especially in LA. LA is crazy.
Yeah. The one person I met in LA that I made myself was, actually you may have been there, was Hyde from that '70s show,
Uh-huh.
and I heard he was gonna be there. I think he was on the show, and so I made it a point because he was my favorite on that '70s show, and I was like, "I gotta meet this guy," and freaking got to hug him. It was the best.
One last question for you before we go to some questions that maybe Paul or the audience have for you. I know that you like some TV shows outside of sports, whether it be Friends, New Girl. What are some of the? Have I hit the
You
top?
know me.
Yeah. Are there other TV shows that you obsess about or that you have to binge watch?
The Office.
Uh huh.
The Office, yeah,
God.
that's one that I freaking just play over and over. Um, Dude, but that's something like I still, to be honest, have not finished the series because I get too sad. I'm kind of scared to finish it. So I just replay the same things over and over. Tegan Knox from NXT, we go back and forth on Instagram, just like messaging each other quotes and like memes and all that stuff. And it makes my day. I turn it on while I'm stretching. I turn it on and just that background noise. It's the best.
You haven't finished the series?
No,
You
I
even-
know what happens,
Oh, you do know.
but yeah, I know what happens because my fiance freaking finished it, but I just can't do it. Can't bring myself to do it.
I was the same way with a TV show called Hannibal, which is not nearly the juggernaut that The Office is, but I loved the show so much that I didn't watch the second half of the final season because I didn't want it to end per se. Even though I kind of know what would happen, I didn't want to.
Yeah,
So I get that. I understand.
yeah, it's sad.
Um, last but certainly not least, because the four shows that I've had before you have all had my friends that happen to be wrestlers on it. If you were to have your own pop culture WrestleMania main event, whether it be Bayley and Invisible Woman versus Wonder Woman and Sasha, like what would your pop culture WrestleMania main event be if you
Does
had?
it have to be like a superhero character, or can it be someone? Okay, any pop culture.
Anybody in pop culture?
So,
Movies.
I mean, I have to wrestle them. So I'm obsessed with Paramore. So I would love to. I mean, I've been trying to figure out ways that Haley Williams could sing my entrance, any type of entrance song for me to come out to the ring at WrestleMania. But I mean, it would be awesome if she wanted to be my tag partner. I could take on like Sasha and Snoop Dogg or something.
Oh, that's a really popular
I
main
just made that up right now.
event. I hope Vince is listening because he better book that ASAP.
I mean, I'm sure he is. He watches all your stuff.
He does? I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
it. I knew it. All right. Well, before we let the lovely Bailey go, Paul, do we have some questions from the audience?
We do. We have quite a few here. And now they make more sense knowing that you love New Girl and The Office, because we were getting some questions. Your fans clearly know you.
Yeah.
They wanted to know over Michelle over on Twitch. Oh, I'm sorry, over on Periscope. She asked if out of all of the cast members of New Girl, who would you like to meet the most, maybe that you have not met?
Nick.
Oh.
I love Nick. Man, I wish Nick was a real life person because I would have to try to marry him or something. He's so hilarious, so funny. I've actually been able to talk to Nick Schmidt through Josh. Remember Schmidt got me, you got a video of Schmidt for me saying hello to me.
Schmidt
Yeah.
is a CrossFit fanatic as well as Bailey, and or fitness fanatic, I should say. And yeah, they kind of bonded over both fitness and the fact that I think it was right after you won your second title or something, right? He was super pumped.
I don't know. I was supposed to work out with you that morning, and I had a freaking appearance, and I was so like I think I was shooting something for a Fox morning show or something. I was literally sitting in the house for an interview, and you sent me the video, and I was so mad. I could tell like the producers and everything felt bad that I had to be there instead of working out with you and Schmidt.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was me, Kobe or Seth and Cesaro. We were all working out at Brick, and we wanted you to be there, and you had to. It was like right when Fox took over SmackDown. So yeah.
Yeah. Dang it.
She could have met Schmidt.
Next time.
Next time. So we have another question over from YouTube here from Joe. He would like to know, when was the last time that you can remember that you were legitimately starstruck? That yeah, just legitimately, couldn't even form a word, starstruck.
I guess I get nervous obviously around a lot of the wrestlers that I looked up to when I first met Lita, when I first met Stone Cold, The Rock.
Oh,
But
wow.
I think is Hayley Williams from Paramore. I got to meet her twice now. And the first time I did was all thanks to Rollins because he set me up. I couldn't get tickets, and he set me up with so many people in the music industry. And I got backstage and got to meet her, and I'm surprised I was able to like even form a sentence and ask for a picture. But she was awesome. Like I bother her on Twitter so much that she knew who I was, but like just that I'm this wrestler that annoys her all the time. But that was the first and last time that I remember being like, hi.
Wow. Oh, geez.
Great story. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like you said, like Austin or The Rock, but no, it's Paramore.
No, I think because I've been around, wrestling and because like the position I was in when I met those people, I tried to be all professional and just like, they're just like me. They're just like me. But like Hayley Williams, man, I got nothing on her.
Yeah, it's a much different medium there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
So another question from Rebecca Webb, a big fan of yours. She says, what would you like in your career next, since you are basically the champ, since you are the SmackDown champ? What would you like to see for your career next, whether in wrestling or outside of wrestling?
I mean, I still feel I have a lot of growing to do in WWE, and I am a Grand Slam champion. You're right, Rebecca. I've won it all, but I haven't done it all. I still want to main event WrestleMania. I still want to win a Royal Rumble. There's a lot of people that I still want to have big matches and storylines with, but eventually I want to open up my own wrestling school. So that's always been my dream
Cool.
from like day one when I first started training. just the grunge of a garage and the sweat and the hard work and like I don't know, nothing compares to that feeling when I first walked in. So someday, I want to open my own wrestling school.
Would your wrestling school have a coffee shop next to it as well?
Dude,
Or
I know. I don't know if anything could top Rollins' place. So that's just amazing. But I would love that. I've talked about that with a few people. My sister always says, "I'm going to open a coffee shop, even if it's just a little table inside your school." I'm like, okay,
do you
just
think
help me with a few things.
do you think that those kids have it spoiled compared to how other people? I mean, I know that he doesn't obviously spoil them; like he puts them through the ringer. But
Hmm.
because it's next to a coffee shop and it's actually a really nice facility. I know you've been there before. Do you think that they're spoiled in a way versus how maybe you started your career in, like you said, a small grungy garage?
I don't know if like spoiled's the word because I know they pay a lot of good money for to go there and they're leaving their families and their homes wherever they're coming from. But I just hope that they appreciate the atmosphere that they have and because there's a full gym there, a beautiful ring. Like you said, next to a coffee shop. I've been there, so there's like restaurants around and everything. Um, but when my first training was literally in like storage units. So it's just you open up the garage and there was a wrestling ring in there, and I could put out my arm, like stand inside the ring and put my arm out and touch the wall. It had
That's
a mini fridge and two chairs, and that was it. And I fell in love with that. I was like, "This is insane." Who you would never think, there's like small businesses everywhere. There's literally people storing stuff from their homes, and you just open this random door, and it's a wrestling ring.
now
So,
was
I
that
mean, I appreciated that.
was that in Northern California? Or
Yeah, that was in, we kind of jumped around a little bit. That was in for Big Time Wrestling, but the first school was in Milpitas, California. So yeah, it was Bay Area. Like we went from Milpitas to Hayward to Fremont, bunch of different school like locations, but always the same company.
okay, all right. What else you got for us, Paul?
Oh, quite a few. I really like this one, and I'm really really curious. I think this one, if we've got the time, could be for both of you because I'm curious for both of your answers. Is what they would like to know. What is your most cherished Christmas or birthday present from when you were growing up that you can remember?
Hmm.
Yeah,
What
I have an answer.
You have an answer?
I do. From what
Okay, you go first.
it's going to sound very nerdy, but I mean, I guess that's what we're here for. I remember being obsessed with a Game Boy, and I remember my family being like, I remember opening up all the presents, and my family being like, "Oh, sorry, I guess you didn't get it." And then my mom kind of pulling a card out of the Christmas story, being like, "Oh, what's that package behind the whatever?" Like it was clearly hidden, and it was a Game Boy, and I literally jumped out. So that
That's
was
awesome.
a cherished Christmas moment. And I think the second to that was tickets to WrestleMania 9, which I was super.
Ooh.
Wow.
I was in Las Vegas, and that was like the first time WrestleMania came to, or wrestling kind of came to a big event in LA. Or sorry, not LA, Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Only to be ruined by my arch nemesis Hulk Hogan, who had to win the main event, and then I left the Super Bowl. And
I remember you telling me that story.
that's another story in itself. But yeah, I would say those are my two favorite Christmas moments.
I have bad memory, but like the first thing that came to mind was my dad got me an acoustic guitar, and at the time I had no idea why I didn't want a guitar. Like he's pretty bad at presents. I'm like, why did he get me this thing? I never used it and I had it for years and years. And then my junior year in high school, I still had it and I had to take an elective. I was like, you know what? Let me just take guitar class because I have one and it's just sitting there. And it was one of my favorite classes. And I don't remember much, but I learned a lot and I met so many cool people from there. So I would say like that became, I should have known that. I love it now, and I think it's so cool. But then I was so like, Dad, what the hell is this? You don't even know me.
And now look at that. Now hopefully Paramore is hearing that that you have the acoustic guitar and ready to go on tour.
Well, I mean, I did open for Neck Deep and Lil Wayne and Blink 182. If you guys didn't know that, I played a little Ode to Joy on an old electric guitar for the crowd.
I remember seeing that. How was that? How was that experience versus being in front of a WWE crowd where
Oh my god, so embarrassing.
a good guy or bad guy, they either love you or hate you?
Dude, well, the fans were so nice, luckily. There wasn't, like, a bunch of people there yet because it was still, like, a little bit before the show, but the band, first of all, Neck Deep, was so freaking nice to me, and I only play Ode to Joy on my little acoustic guitar, like, I messed around with Elias's guitar or whatever, and they gave me an electric one, and I had no idea how to use it, and they put little earpieces in so I could hear myself, and it sounds so much different,
Yeah.
and I played it, like, since I was freaking 15 years old, you know? So I went up there and I mess up, mess up, mess up, and then everyone's just like, "Yeah!" So I just did it real quick and then ran off.
Look
It
at
was
that.
cool.
And since we are a collectible company, we always get the question in: do you collect anything, whether it's albums or LPs, anything nerdy? But we always get the question
Um,
of what do you collect?
yeah, well, when I was younger, I used to collect, obviously, like, I was obsessed with Hardy Boys and Lita, so I would get all their action figures. I'd buy 2 of them, or my parents would buy 2 of them for me so that I could open and play with one of them, and then that I could have them in the packages. And one of the few that I still have is, it's like the Team Extreme pack, so it's all 3 of them together.
Mm.
Uh, and then I do collect albums just because I have a record player at home, and a lot of fans, like, since I post about it, a lot of fans when I do meet and greets will bring me vinyls from my favorite band. So that has become like a big stack at my house, which is awesome.
Oh, great. And then that was the two-part because the second part of that question from Instagram is where that one came from, which we're also streaming on. They want to know, are there any wrestlers that would, force you, you're like, I would just have to buy this statue of this wrestler if it came out?
Yeah, it would be Hardy Boys and Lita and Macho Man for sure. And if there's any Eddie Guerrero ones, because my best friend Sasha Banks loves
Oh, great.
Yeah,
him.
we had that really cool Ultimate Warrior and the Ric Flair and the Rock ones on the site, which are really really fun.
Right.
But I've been like, why isn't there a Macho Man one? Because I would have that in a heartbeat. So
Yeah,
hopefully they are will hear our cries and make one because he was the best and he should be encapsulated in a really cool collectible that we sell on our site.
Yeah.
yeah.
With that Warrior one, and I mean, I don't know if you've seen them, Bailey, but if you ever get a chance to check them out, they're really, really cool. I had to do a video for the Rock one, and it had an interchangeable head. There was like Attitude Era Rock with the big long sideburns and like kind of like the
Ah,
or hair, and then you could take it off, and then he could be Hollywood Rock, which with the shaved head and the you know no
that's
side.
really cool.
It's really
Remember the Power Ranger toys that would you push like the belt buckle and the head would flip to them without their helmet?
yep.
Yes.
Yeah, those
I
were awesome.
wish they could have done that. That would have saved these collectors a lot of time about interchangeable heads. You could just flip a switch and boom.
Yeah.
Rock goes from attitude rock or classic rock, if you will, to modern rock or Hollywood rock.
Yep.
Oh, geez. So I think probably one of the last questions we will have time for here uh, over on YouTube. They want to know, in an alternate world, if it wasn't wrestling, what would you love to be doing?
Um, so I always answer that this I just got a new answer for that not too long ago, but I always answer that saying I would love to be a counselor or not really like a therapist, but a counselor in an elementary school or something because growing up my parents went through a divorce when I was in second grade. So I had to do a lot of they put me in counseling when I was like in elementary, and then along with my siblings we had to go to these different therapy sessions, which as a kid I was just like, this is weird, I just want to play with my toys or whatever. But looking back at it as I got older, I realized how much it helped me. So I was going to psychology classes when I was in community college before wrestling, and I always thought that would be a cool direction to go that I'm still very interested in. But since that Michael Jordan documentary, I'm like, man, imagine if I played basketball in community college because the school I was going to wanted me to play, but I was already starting to train for wrestling, so I couldn't do it. But imagine if I started playing and then I got better and I got kind of good and I wanted to go to the WNBA or something. Like, you never know. That could have
Starting
been cool.
for the Los Angeles Sparks, I believe it is, or the Las Vegas
Yeah.
Aces. That could have been
Yeah,
you.
Lisa Leslie, right? Damn.
Yeah.
She's a
Oh,
Hall of Famer, from what I understand.
she's what?
I believe she's a Hall of Famer. Like she's in the WNBA Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So. Please don't
Mhm.
quote me. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that I don't really follow WNBA.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Though I would say if they lowered the rim and allowed those girls to dunk, people would be watching a lot more than they let off to be. I'm just saying the WNBA commissioner, if you want to lower the rim so these girls can dunk on each other, that would be a sight to
Dude,
see.
that'd be sick. Yeah. I wouldn't be one of them because I can't jump for nothing. You know that.
I've seen you jump off the top rope many a times. I'm pretty sure that
Oh, yeah.
that's
I could jump off of things. I just can't jump onto things. I have no power in my legs.
That is true. We will not talk about the dreaded box jump incident, but yes, it did definitely. All right. Well, Paul, are there any more questions for the champ? I know she is unfortunately unable to do the workout with us, which, she's got to go to work, which I completely understand, but I'm glad that she was able to join us. But are there any more questions for the champ?
Yeah, if you've got time for one more,
Yeah.
I think this is a great one. It's from It's Riz over on YouTube. And she wants to know, who is your dream opponent? Doesn't matter, a lot, past, present, who would be your dream opponent?
My dream opponent is Lita because I mean Sasha's my favorite opponent, but we've been there, done that. Lita is definitely my dream opponent just because I would probably crap my pants being like, oh my god, that's who I looked up to since I was a little teenager. So one day I say it all the time, and I hope sometimes she sees it so that she'll just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it to shut her up.
I mean, it's not out of the question, right? I mean, she did recently just wrestle, so it's not.
Yeah, I've teamed with her actually. Her and Trish Stratus and Natty and Sasha, we all teamed together once, and that was amazing. But I would love to whoop her.
Well, hopefully, Lita's listening. And sitting next to Vince as they're both watching the show. And
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe he'll make it happen. Bailey, thank you so much for joining us. I know you have to go. I appreciate you. And again, if you don't already, please follow Bailey on Instagram. Watch her every Friday night on Fox. She is the SmackDown Women's Champ. And yeah, thanks so much, bud. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Let me know what the workout is, and I'll do it, and I'll post a video of my whatever scores, I guess.
It's not so much a score over here. It's not so much as a competition as it is when you and I compete. But yes, it's all about completing and or doing the workout. But if you want to do it later, that would be awesome.
Okay, I will.
All right.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Take care.
All right. Paul, well, we are still working out regardless. Now, hopefully you guys are still sticking around because we have a special giveaway. That's right. We are giving away that 6 scale by Hot Toys, that Gerald Grindelwald 6 scale, which I'm sure Colby / Seth Rollins and Becky are going to want to win. Why wouldn't they? Because they're the big Harry Potter fans. And I'm going to give that away during the rest period of our workout. Now, our workout today is going to be a Tabata style workout, which means it's 20 seconds on or 20 seconds of work, followed by 10 seconds of rest. And we're going to do that. We're going to be doing 4 different movements, and we will go in between each movement for each round. I know that I kind of jumbled that, but we're going to start off in a plank. We're then going to move on to what's called shoulder taps. Then we're going to move on to what's called mountain climbers. And then we're going to move on to what's called the no push-up burpee. And we'll do that circuit for 4 rounds. It's not a very long workout, but it's a lot of core based movements, a lot of keeping your core nice and tight. And we're going to show you some ways to scale this workout if you cannot complete the workout as written or as prescribed. I know a lot of you have maybe some issues regarding holding yourself or your body weight up. Don't worry, we have some ways to scale this workout so everybody can do this at home. And the great thing about this workout is that you can do it pretty much anywhere. It's not going to take up a lot of space, and you're not going to be moving around a lot. I'm not asking you to do a 400-meter run, luckily, Paul, so nobody has to leave and come back. Today I have a lovely assistant that will be joining me. It's my friend Jen, since Bailey could not join us. There is Jen, the lovely Jen Houston. She's over there somewhere.
It's
There it is.
like you guys are doing a dancing bit.
Exactly. So Jen also, ladies and gentlemen, a big nerd fan, a big aficionado of all things Marvel, of all things Harry Potter, and especially all things Star Wars. I don't know if you have any questions for Jen, but she could answer a lot of things, and that's why I love her so much, because who doesn't love being quarantined up with another nerd, a fan? In fact, anytime I get anything from Sideshow, she's the one that's tearing and ripping open the box before I ever could. Today we're going to start off with a couple of movements, one of them being a plank. So Jen's going to get to the top of her plank, and I'm going to try to adjust this, and I'm going to help her out. So that is the top of your plank, as you can see. Now, the first part is you're going to lower yourself down to your elbows. So Jen's going to lower herself down to her elbows, and then she's going to lift herself back up and get to the top of the plank. She's going to do that for 20 seconds. Now, if you can't, go ahead and put your knees down to the ground. And this is the scaled option. All right. So the scaled option, go ahead, Jen, and show her the same way. Yep. That's how you'll do the scaled version of that. Okay. So the first movement is a plank to elbow, back to plank. Paul, are there any questions regarding that one?
Not at the moment. No, not for the workout.
Okay. Perfect. Next, we are going to get back to the top of your plank. This is the second movement. It's called the shoulder tap. She's going to tap her opposite shoulder with her left hand to her right shoulder, and then back to her right shoulder to her left shoulder. All right, that is considered one rep. She's going to continue to do that for 20 seconds. Let's see just a couple more of those. And don't worry, guys, I'm going to do this with her. And relax. So the scaled version, as you saw on the first movement, is you're going to get down to your knees and do it that way as well. Okay? Yep.
And we do have a question for you, Joshi, if you don't mind. Joshua over on Facebook wants to know, do you have any tips for exercising for or doing these particular workouts for somebody who may have like a ruptured disc in like the lumbar region? So I believe that's,
Yeah, again, going down and scaling these movements, maybe not a plank. When you find that if you're arching your back a lot, I'll try to demonstrate, right? So if you're not really engaging your core and keeping your core tight, if you let your hips sink, that puts a lot of pressure on your lower back, right? Or if you you pike your hips up, again, you're not really focusing on the muscles that we're trying to engage, which is our core. So if you're focused on getting on your knees and keeping your core tight, you should not feel a lot of pressure on your back, right? Same thing for this. I shouldn't feel a lot of pressure on my back. If you do, then chances are you shouldn't be doing these particular movements. Now, again, we're doing kind of like a plank series today, so it's all core inducive. Again, it's all about focusing on where you're feeling those uncomfortable sensations, right? So if in a plank that you're doing it, chances are your hips are too low or your butt is too high. All right, you should be feeling it more so in your core and less on your lower back. Hopefully that answers their question. The third movement is what is called a no push-up burpee. So Jen is going to stand all the way up. She's going to drop down and get to the top of her plank. She's going to shoot her feet back, and she's going to jump and clap. That's one. That's two. Now, if you're going to do the scaled version of this, she's just going to drop down to her knees. Yep. She's going to walk her feet back up forward, and you're going to jump and clap. That's one. All right. So you have the plank to elbow. You have the shoulder taps. You have the no push-up burpee. And then the last and final one is called a mountain climber. So you're going to get back to that plank position. You're going to take your right knee and try to bring it to your right elbow. There you go. And then you're going to switch and your left knee to your left elbow. And you're going to do that as fast as you can for 20 seconds. If you can't do it as fast as Jen, the mighty Jen, you're going to go nice and slow. If you need to take a break in between, that is totally fine. Again, the goal of these workouts is just for you to move at your own pace. All right. We know a lot of you don't have the ability to go to a gym, a spin class, a yoga class, and all these workouts that we try to bring you every Tuesday. Yes, we get to do a fun interview with a celebrity or professional wrestler, but we also want you guys to get moving and to be active, even if it's for 8, 10, 12 minutes a day. All right. Are there any questions? Now, again, we're still giving away that 6 scale. I'm going to give away the secret code during this workout. So I know some of you are still waiting to hear that secret code. I promise you, I am going to give that to you. I'm not holding it from you. All right.
All right.
Questions, Paul, for Jen or myself before we get started?
Yeah, I mean, we are getting geeky questions for the both of you already. They want to know for Joshy and Jen, is there a sideshow piece that you both would love that you don't have yet?
Oh, I can name a bunch. Do you have one off the top of your head? She wants the child.
Right.
As soon as that came out, I got a phone call and she was like, "That better be pre-ordered or you're not coming home." So yes, the child would be numero uno on both of our lists. There's always that Thanos. I believe it's a PCS that is where he's sitting on his throne. That's one that I would love. The gauntlet, the life-size gauntlet would be another, and any of the Endgame hot toys. I can't wait for those to be released. So
those are beautiful.
That's on my short list. I love that Jen though has just one and one only, and that is the child.
I think with that, then we did have a follow-up question for Jen because I believe this is everyone's first time meeting her. They did want to know, are you a big Star Wars fan, Jen? And if so, what is your favorite piece of content from Star Wars, like The Mandalorian, the Clone Wars? Is it just the child?
I love Star Wars. I love all of the movies. I think on May the 5th we watched New Hope.
We watched New Hope on May the 4th.
Sorry.
Right.
It's okay. And
we
then
did Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, then we did Revenge of the Fifth. We did a little Clone Wars animated. So yeah.
Nice.
What is your all-time favorite?
I don't know. I loved it, and I can't wait for season 2. And then we just started watching the behind the scenes on Disney Plus of The Mandalorian. So
that's so cool.
when fresh in my mind, I love it.
Let's just say a certain someone, I won't mention who, has a pair of child overalls. And I'm not saying like child size overalls, I'm saying overalls that have the child on them. So I didn't want to answer, but we'll just say that The Mandalorian is definitely, as of now, numero uno. But yes, I mean, we were watching the original Star Wars, i.e. A New Hope, and we were just both geeking out, even though we've both seen it numerous times, on just some of the little subtle differences. And in fact, we were both kind of like, I don't know if we like the new added scenes that they put in 2000, what was that? Not 2090, was it 96, 97? I forget when they decided to come out with the special editions.
97.
It was like, I don't remember Job ever being in this. And I was like, because he was not in this ever.
I just like when the air.
Oh yeah, that was Jen's favorite part. You know what I'm talking about, Paul?
Oh, yeah.
where Han Solo at the end is like, you're an incredible human being or something. And Jen looks at me and is like, what? And I'm like, just forget it.
Yeah, just forget it. And we did have a question. I mean, I'll let you take this one, Joshy, because this is a great for you to maybe mention it to everyone here. Kyle L over on Facebook wants to know, this whole workout rocks. Do you have a full home workout, just body weight workout available?
Oh yes, in fact, I've mentioned this on numerous weeks. I have a home workout series called Dead Boys Fitness. It's something that Seth Rollins and I co-created together, where we have weeks, months, years of home workouts that you can do. And I'm talking body weight movements, stuff that you don't need equipment. We also have versions of these workouts that involve equipment. So if you're looking for a home workout regimen, I know we're all kind of quarantined and locked up, but even if you want some really good body weight workouts, head on over to Dead Boys Fitness, because that's where we have these workouts. And it's also, you get to join a fun community where we can kind of talk about the workouts together. You obviously get to talk to, Seth and Bailey and Becky and all these people that, are friends of mine that are also members. Jen's also a member, and they're really fun workouts. And the great thing about these workouts, like you see with this one, you don't need a lot of space, and you definitely don't need a lot of time at the gym. You don't need to spend 2 or 3 hours at the gym. This workout especially, it's only around 8 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less, and you'll see by the time that it is said and done, you're gonna be like, thank God it was only that long.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I go back and I watch all of these workouts and I think, oh man, it's I use these because I'm moderating, so I have to do these afterwards, and they if that's any indication, man, these are great.
Yeah, well, this one especially, I know you'll definitely be feeling it in the stomach and the core region for sure after this one today. But I want to know how you did, Paul. Let me know how you did.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll start I'll start uploading them too and compare mine against these WWE superstars.
Definitely don't do that. I mean, why did I even bother?
But I think yeah, I think they might be ready for the next part of the workout there.
All right. Well, yeah. So these are all plank kind of base style movements. You're basically in a plank for the majority of these movements. It may look like we're doing like a TikTok challenge, but we're not. We're actually working out. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're going to go through that entire circuit 4 times. Okay. So the plank to elbow, the shoulder taps, the no push-up burpees, and the mountain climbers. We're going to go through that entire circuit 4 times, okay? And in between that, I will give you guys the secret code that will give you 1,000 entries into our Glean contest, okay?
Awesome.
And then Jen and I can answer any questions after that. All right, let's get started. Paul, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and go. 20 seconds, plank to elbow, back to plank. Now, if anybody has any questions, I can probably answer them, but I really want you to focus on squeezing your glutes or your butt and squeezing your stomach when you're doing this. And rest. All right, 10 seconds of rest, Paul. Look at that. Majority rest. Next is shoulder taps. Stop. And back to the top of your plank. Again, squeezing your butt and core. Try not to sway your hips like I'm doing here. That's perfect. That's what we want. All right, so top of a plank, and we're shoulder tapping. And rest. Next is no push-up burpee, which our heads are going to be kind of cut off here. Stop. You're going to get to the top of your plank, throw your feet back, throw them forward, jump and clap. Five seconds. And rest. All right. Last one, mountain climbers. And go. No, I can't do it as fast as Jen there, Paul.
Well, I don't think I could do it as fast as either one of you, so.
The one with the 6-pack, not me. And all right, that's 1 round down, 3 more to go. So as Bailey mentioned in her interview, if we were keeping score, it would be how many reps you complete. For example, that would be 1. That would be 2. Okay. That would be 3. So you would add up all your reps at the end of this, and then maybe 6 to 8 weeks, you would retest this again, Paul, and you've gotten better or fitter.
Right.
Next is shoulder taps. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. The goal is to get as many reps as possible in 20 seconds while maintaining good form and not letting your hips sway like this. which in theory isn't technically wrong, but that's where you'll start to feel a lot of discomfort in your lower back. All right, headless burpees. And go. At least we're in sync, right, Paul?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah. Put in there. Mountain climbers.
Only 100 more.
Finishing up round 2. A few more rounds to go. I mean, I guess I could do it. I also have to talk. All right. 2 down, 2 to go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Babe, question. Would you like a lemon drop? Lemon drop. That's the secret word. All caps, no spaces. Lemon drop. 1,000 entries in the Gleam contest. While I'm planking, I'm out of breath. Lemon drop, baby. All right.
That's got to be the most in shape secret word drop that's ever happened.
Back to shoulder taps, guys. We're almost done. Then you can go about your day. But again, this workout, I believe it's 8 minutes if I'm doing my math correctly. And already I want it to be over. Very easy, but very tough. And again, some may think that the scaled version is easier. Trust me, it is not. It's just as challenging. In sync again, Paul. In sync again.
There you go.
5 seconds. All right. Round 3, almost done. Very good job. Here we go. And go.
And while they're doing the workout, everyone, just so you're all aware, the secret word that was dropped, which was lemon drop, that's all caps, no space. You are going to follow a Gleam link coming up later in the show that you can enter that secret word for 1,000 extra entries in.
All right, everybody. One more round to go. Then a few more questions, and then you can enjoy our Tuesday. Here we go. Last round, Paul.
Let's do it.
You can also switch directions if you decide to do this later. Doesn't matter, just as long as you're planking down to your elbows and then getting back to the top of your push-up. The other thing about this workout too, really works your shoulders. All right, not just but your shoulders. And go. Shoulder tap. Again, really focusing on keeping that midline nice and tight. Trying not to compromise it by dropping your hips or raising your hips.
And we do have a question for you, Joshy, about the workout, if you can somehow answer it. What is the benefit of the headless burpee rather than a traditional burpee?
You mean the no push-up burpee?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, these are used more so for people that have trouble getting all the way down, right? This is a normal burpee.
Right.
Right? People have a tough time doing that for whatever reason. This is just a scaled version. Plus, by cutting out a big step, it turns it more cardio based. You can turn over more burpees as opposed to falling all the way down to the ground and coming off. So it's not necessarily easier, you're just able to do more. All right, last one. There's no real benefit, I guess, other than you can do more.
Right.
Both off, as you can see. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right. How was that?
Your shoulders are burning.
Shoulders, abs, arms a little bit, all burning. That was only 4 rounds. If you're a very fit person, I could see that going 8 rounds, even though it would be incredibly tough. Still, that would be a very good challenge for those of you that don't have a lot of space and need to get a workout in. Again, I'm terrible at math. I believe that's only 8 minutes long, but that just goes to show that you don't need a lot of time, and you definitely don't need a lot of space to get in a really good workout. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, good job, both of you.
Any questions regarding the workout?
I think a lot of them they had answered, or everyone who could ask questions is probably currently out of breath and laying down right now.
Well, that's good. I'm glad they were able to do that. Again, most of these workouts, if not all of them, you can do in your living room with no weight. On Dead Boys Fitness, we offer workouts that have equipment, whether it's a dumbbell, a barbell, weight vest, or no equipment at all. As you could see, we had no equipment, no machines. We're the machines. She's the machine. I'm not the machine. But yeah, no machines.
Now we did have a question, Joshi, that I think would be near and dear to you, maybe to both of you. There was an announcement that just kind of came up, and a good friend of yours, Becky Lynch and Seth, are expecting.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of questions for you about, because they know that they are your friends. How do you feel? I mean, did you know, of course, before everyone else did? Did you find out with them?
I feel, I'm very happy for them. They were very excited to tell Jen and I the news, and I can't wait to be a part of the little champ's life whenever that comes around. But I mean, again, they're friends of the show now. They've both done the show. They're both great and wonderful people, and they're going to be amazing parents. And I think that it's going to be fun to watch, that little athlete grow. If they're coming from Becky and Seth, that kid's going to be an athlete as well as a nerd, someone that likes Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and could probably kick the crap out of any kid out there. So,
and Pearl Jam, it seems.
And Pearl. Yeah, no, we're extremely happy for them. It was really cool to see Becky get really emotional, and she's the persona on TV and in real life. But when you have an announcement like that, it's gonna get all the emotions out of you. I know I started to tear up. So yeah, and I know Jen teared up as well. So yeah, it's fun to see your friends, achieve really cool things, whether it be a championship title or a small child. So.
That's awesome. I think that's it's so I think a lot of people were really excited because they were just on the show and they were just working out and talking, just to see this news drop. I think it's really special.
And by the way, now, I do have other friends that aren't professional wrestlers that were on the show. It's just that everyone that has done the show so far goes off and tells their friends how much fun they had, and so now I'm getting hit up by everybody that wants to do the show. Obviously, Jen is a part of that as well, and again, that's the whole purpose of Get Super as well as Dead Boys Fitness, is to create a community of people, whether they be comic book aficionados or pop culture aficionados or pro wrestling aficionados or fitness aficionados, and bringing them all together. Again, that was an 8-minute workout, but for those of you watching and or still watching, you got to hear a really cool interview from Bailey, and you got to get a good workout with Jen and myself, and you get to possibly win a really cool piece from Hot Toys. Being a Harry Potter fan from both of us, we are unable to enter that contest, so somebody very deserving better win that Grindelwald 6 scale, because if not, we'll come and collect it.
Yes. But I think that we had quite a few questions. The one question that came up, I think that's for Jen, that of course everyone gets asked, is Marvel or DC. It came up quite a few times on Instagram there, but y'all will work it out. Oh, Marvel, nice.
No offense to DC. No offense.
I'm even though I'm more of a DC fan myself, I do see the love for Marvel, especially everything they've done in the live action there. But I want to let everyone know, it doesn't matter what platform you're following us on, the giveaway link has been dropped for all of you. And in case you're watching over on Instagram, just so you're aware, you can follow a real easy link. It's just side.show/Grindelwald.
Yeah, that's again such a cool piece. And like I said, every time we give away a 6 scale and a sideshow, both of those companies knock their products out of the park each time with the little details. So again, you are in for a treat when and if you win. And like I said, I've got to give away a lot of cool stuff, whether it be the Nanotech Iron Man, the Bucky Barnes Infinity War piece. This one, again, it's just so much cool stuff that I am so privileged to give to you guys for just tuning in and watching and hopefully getting in a good workout. Any more questions, Paul? We can answer a few before we go.
We did get one that I thought was interesting, because you are another fellow, I believe you said Hufflepuff.
Well, we're both Hufflepuffs, I believe.
Okay, great. That was the question: is what was Jen's house? So, yeah.
Which was not on purpose.
No.
Even I don't know if that was a dating prerequisite. Definitely helped out, I would assume. She was like, "You're Hufflepuff." I'm like, "I'm Hufflepuff." "You're Hufflepuff," and she's like, "I'm Hufflepuff." So yeah, it's fun to where we could geek out on even the smallest things, including what house we're in.
And matching Hufflepuff clothes.
And matching.
So you didn't meet at a
I'm not ashamed, people out there. All right, I don't care. I'll wear a matching Hufflepuff sweatshirt. Don't at me.
Oh, geez. So you didn't meet at a speed dating Hufflepuff convention?
Hufflepuffs only. No.
A Hufflepuffs only. No.
But,
I should start telling people that.
yeah. How did you guys meet? Speed dating, Hufflepuffs only. Like how there's farmers only? Farmers only. There, Hufflepuffsonly.com. That's how we met.
Right. I think you just came up with a $1 million idea live on camera.
Yeah, I was gonna sing the jingle, but I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, you just got to be off by a note for licensing.
Good question, though. I like that one. Good question.
Oh boy, yeah. Another question that we'd had for Jen is: are you also, before Joshy, are you a big wrestling fan? Like, were you do you watch professional wrestling, or even now is it tempered, or is it just around Joshy?
I watched as a kid, so when Bailey was talking about Lita and the Hardy Boys and things like that, I can keep up and I know what she's talking about. I definitely had a break in between being a kid and meeting Josh. Now my Monday nights are Monday Night Raw and my Friday nights are Friday Night SmackDown. So I enjoy it. It's fun to watch. So.
And in return, I'll sit and watch The Circle with her. It's a give and take, Paul. She wants to watch wrestling, sure, that's fine. And now I have to watch The Circle, which, by the way, is very addictive.
It is, yeah. Me and my girlfriend probably binged through that, and also about a solid 2 days.
Oh, yeah. She's like, "Okay, we're gonna shut it off," and I was like, "No, I gotta see what happens to Joey. Put that." So I'm not. I binge with her just as much as she binges with me, and I'm always surprised that I'm like, "Oh, I like that show, like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I didn't think I would like it as much," and she introduced it to me, and I'm like,
"That's a great show.
That show is great." All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. You've been an amazing audience. For those looking to win, don't forget to head to the Gleam link to enter. Head to side.show/ win. Sorry, win alert. I was like, what? Win alert, and use the code for 1,000 entries. The Gleam contest ends tonight at midnight. And if you're interested in any other giveaways, we have a Collect a Day May going on right now, where we challenge you to show off your collectibles each day of the month to win a prize. Today is Instant Classic Days, meaning we want to see your oldest collectible to win the Captain America concept art 6 scale by Hot Toys. I have this piece. It's really, really, really cool. I'm trying to think what my oldest collectible could be. Maybe it's a wrestling buddy, or maybe it's an old Batman like superpowers toy. I don't know. I'll have to go and look. But Paul will drop the link to that right now, and you guys have all day to get that in. All right. We will see you tomorrow with an episode of Comics Hall at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with the one and only Paul. Paul, thank you so much for moderating.
Oh, it's my favorite thing to do at 10. I love it. I love anytime I get to be on a show with Josh. He is a real treat, honestly. It doesn't happen enough.
Well, you better go and do that workout. I'll be watching. Thank you, Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champ. Make sure you follow her on Instagram, as well as follow her every Friday night on Fox. And the one and only lovely Jen Houston. Babe, thank you so much for coming in and doing this workout with me. I appreciate you, and I love you very much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, again, thank you guys for sticking around. And don't forget to let your geek side show. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.